Okay, I have worked my 6 rows of 2 knits, 2 purls all the way around, and I bound off, so now I'm ready to work on the thumb. I'm going to take these stitches off of my holder, put them on my needle, okay, there are 14 stitches now on my needle, and the directions say to pick up stitches from the waste yarn, which is what we just did, and using the working yarn, pick up 2 stitches from the top, from the glove side, then knit in the round for 4 rows. So we need to pick up 2 stitches. Now we're starting with a new piece of yarn because when we bound off we cut our yarn. So just take your yarn here, and if you're comfortable you can pick up your stitches with your needle, but if you would prefer you can use a crochet hook. And this is a big one, but it's the one I had close. And pull through 1 and 2 and this up the side. So that's what they mean when they pick up stitches. You're just creating stitches by pulling yarn up through the back. And now that we've picked up 2 from the side, it says knit in the round 4 rows. Okay. You know what might be better is to knit these stitches that are on the holder and then pick up the 2. Let's do that. I'd be purling if I did it that way. Alright. Sometimes you just need to think it through. Here we go. So I'm going to knit these and then pick up the other 2 stitches when I go by. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let's put in another needle. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and now we'll pick up 2 here. By going in, I'm just going to use my needle, but you can use a crochet hook, and just grab it and pull it back through, and then 1 more over here, and it doesn't have to be okay. And I'm going to use another needle to keep going around. So now I'm at the first of the 14. Yeah, I think it's easier to pick up your stitches on the way back around, but whatever works best for you. So this is stitch number 1 again. This is round 2. I'm going to do my tally because we're going to do 4 rows of knit, and then 2 rows of ribbing, and then bind off, and that'll be it. So this is our round 2 of knitting. Starting round 3. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So that's the 4th row of the knitting. Now we're going to switch to the rib. Knit 2, purl 2 for 2 rounds. Knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, purl 2, knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl. So that's row 1 of the ribbing. One more row of ribbing. So, I mean, you really don't have to tally if you think you can keep it straight. It's just a good habit. This is the last row of ribbing. Knit 1, knit 2, purl 1, purl 2. Knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl, knit, knit, purl, purl. Okay, so that's it. Binding off is the next step. I don't think it would matter if you bound off knitwise all the way through, but when I'm binding off of a ribbing, I just tend to do whatever the stitches that I'm binding off at the time. So that's a knit. I'm going to knit one, and then I'm going to knit the second stitch and use the first one to bind it off by pulling it over, up and over, and the second one coming through, sliding it off. Again, if you don't know how to bind off, you can go to knittinghelp.com for a tutorial video. Okay, we don't need this one anymore. Set that needle down. Okay, there's the last one. I like to pull it out a little bit there and then cut 6-inch, well, whatever length tail you're comfortable with, and grab a tapestry nail. And then thread the end of it. And you can remove your needle from the loop. Run this through. And then weave in the end. I like to turn this thumb under a little bit. And kind of make it look like the last 2 stitches are joined together, and then just hide the end by weaving it in. And they recommend going a few stitches in one direction and then kind of locking it. This is inside the thumb, by going through a few of the stitches in the opposite direction. And it just gives it a little more stability. It's not as likely to come back out as a loose end. And then trim. Do the same thing with this yarn from the start of the thumb. Weave in the end, and also any other, your tail can finally be woven in. And then there it is.